What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Blue Collar Mystic. My name is Owen Hunt, and I'll be your host. I'm really excited to be able to begin this process and to share what I've learned over the past 10 years with you. All that is hidden shall be revealed because it's already within us. Everything that you seek, you already are. The first thing that I really want to touch on in this series is thought, is thinking. And I think that we're taught that from a very young age as well, that we're not going to be able to do the things that we want, that we are victims to the world, that we are subject to its whims, its laws, its unjustness, and how we choose the way that we entertain our thoughts, the way that we accept or reject those thoughts has a huge impact on our reality. The truth is, we determine our reality and exactly how it's shaped and how we experience it. So I'm excited to go into a deep dive with you and learn more. Stick around, hang out, be sure to subscribe to Reality Practice. Check out the podcast, Blue Collar Mystics. See you next time.
Hey everyone, it's Joey from the Reality Practice Network. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned after the show and find out how you can work one-on-one with your show host as they guide you through this process of ascension. Until then, enjoy the show.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Blue Collar Mystic. My name is Owen Hunt, and I'll be your host as we navigate the simplicity of the esoteric and occult. All that is hidden shall be revealed because it's already within us. Everything that you seek, you already are. I know that might sound a little bit cliche, but truly the operating system within us is native and the obvious is unseen. So I'm really excited to be able to begin this process and to share what I've learned over the past 10 years with you. I've done a lot of struggling, I've done a lot of experimenting, and I've learned quite a bit through firsthand experience. The first thing that I really want to touch on in this series is thought, is thinking, is the true cause to everything that is going on around us in our world. For so long I felt like a victim. For so long I felt like I was hampered by my circumstances, that they would keep me down, that I wasn't going to be able to do any of the things that I truly wanted to do. I believed that. And I think that we're taught that from a very young age as well, that we're not going to be able to do the things that we want, that we are victims to the world, that we are subject to its whims, its laws, its unjustness. But in reality, what's really happening is we are truly affecting our circumstances in our world based on the thoughts that we choose and entertain. So it's really difficult to show this scientifically based on looking at someone else because we don't know what is going on within them. But if we're to look at our circumstances and take a couple of steps back, retrace our steps, what we begin to see are the thoughts that have led up to now. In the law of attraction, they talk a lot about bringing things to you, and that's all well and good. But the truth is, you're not going to bring anything to you that you're not, that you haven't already earned within yourself. Private victory always precedes public victory, and private victory begins with thoughts. Now, behind me is a bookshelf with a lot of different books. Some are fiction, some are nonfiction. But each and every one of those books started out as a thought. It started as a thought. Each and every one of us truly is a thought. And how we choose the way that we entertain our thoughts, the way that we accept or reject those thoughts has a huge impact on our reality. The way that we think and the way that we feel. Those are the two things that Earl Nightingale points out in his lesson, The Strangest Secret, that there were all these different philosophers, Copernicus, Aristotle, Buddha, on and on and on and on. Every single one of them had one thing in common. It all boils down to thought. So for us to truly affect our environment and ourselves, we have to get into our own heads. Many of us walk around on autopilot throughout the day, just drifting through life, putting on whatever's going on, watching whatever's on TV, never truly taking an action and being intentional about where our thoughts are and where our mind is. Things like meditation and yoga and other spiritual practices are really only in place so that we are able to take an accurate inventory of our thoughts and understand what is going on in here is definitely affecting what is happening outside. Now, as you begin this practice, you're not going to see immediate results like that, okay? It's going to take time because, well, frankly, we have thought ourselves into the position that we are in now, and we've had a lot of help with that, right? Like, I don't want to just shoo away the fact that we've been trained to think in a certain way. We've been trained to be victims. We've been trained to be helpless. We've been trained to think that we are not enough and that we can't do it. But in fact, the truth couldn't be more the opposite. And the answers couldn't be more simple. In fact, they are embarrassingly simple. So obvious, so in our face, and so close to us that we just can't seem to see it. At a certain point, the world told us a story about who we are. And we had two options. We could either accept that story or reject that story. And I'm going to tell you, most of us accepted that story because it was ingrained from about 5 years old all the way up until 18, 20, 22, 25, depending on how long you're in school. That's what we've learned. That's what we've been told. We've been told who we are. And when I got out of college, I noticed that the world was completely different than what I was taught in college. And it was devastating to me. I didn't know how to process the world. I felt like a victim. I felt like I was lied to and cheated and stolen from. In a way, I honestly was. If I could have gone back to a much younger age and learned the truth about what my thought life meant, and what a liberal education truly is, what the trivium is, and what the quadrivium is, and what philosophy is based on, then I think that I would have had a much more accurate view and a depiction of the world. Now, the benefit is that we get to rebuild our paradigm, our view of the world, and we do that using thoughts. The way that we experience the world in our mind is the way that it is to us. Everyone is subjectively experiencing their own reality, and they're defining that reality based on the thoughts that they have in their brain, the thoughts that they choose to entertain, and the thoughts that they choose to reject and to not entertain. Now, this process, it takes time, and it's definitely a learning curve, but it's something that I want to share with you, and I want to give you the tools, the practical tools, to begin to make alterations in your life, in your reality, and in your experience here in the world. Each and every one of us is a creator of this reality. And when we sleepwalk through life, we're creating the status quo, we're creating more of the same, we're creating not a environment for us to thrive in, but we're basically recreating the sort of matrix, the sort of trap that we've all been kind of shoved into from a very young age. But when we start to think on our own, when we start to analyze our own thoughts and start to look within ourselves, what is going on inside of us, start to take inventory of that, start to shift that and start to change that, well, our perspective changes, and so do our circumstances as a result of that. All perspectives, are valid. So it's really not about convincing someone to do a certain thing or to try this or to try that. Ultimately, it's really about what works for you. And as I said earlier, natively, you have the tools and the equipment within you to alter your reality, to change things. I mean, we're truly magical beings, and magic isn't really what you think it is. It's not like pulling a rabbit out of a hat, but it is altering our circumstances and actively bringing things to us by using the cause, which is our mental and emotional state, to bring about an effect in the physical reality, which is the third dimension around us. Now, we're taught that all of this out here is real and this is what happens. But in reality, the truth is we determine our reality and exactly how it's shaped and how we experience it. So I'm excited to go into a deep dive with you and learn more. So stick around, hang out, be sure to subscribe to Reality Practice, and you can find me on all the platforms at Bootsy Greenwood. Check out the podcast, Blue Collar Mystics. See you next time.
Hey everyone, it's Joey again. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the show. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. We'd love to hear your comments too. And if you haven't already, please make sure to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell to never miss an episode from the Reality Practice Network. As I mentioned before the show, I wanted to extend an exclusive offer to you, the viewers of the Reality Practice Network. For all of you watching this video, you're undoubtedly experiencing an awakening and are searching for more explanation into the experiences you're having. Now is the time to explore who and what you truly are. For a limited time, you can now work one-on-one with your show host. Click the link in the description box below to start your journey, or learn more by going to myrealitypractice.com/ascension and let your ascension begin. And remember to ask yourself, what reality are you choosing to create today?